Okay guys, so at the time of recording we are a mere matter of days away from the beginning of the 2018 FIFA World Cup in Russia. It's a tournament that unites football fans across the world, and this year it's to be no different, with some incredible talent and quality on show. It's a tournament that is hugely anticipated and one that hopefully should be remembered for all the right reasons. In this video I will be going through some of the 32 teams that are in this tournament, analysing various aspects of them as a team and how they may fare in Russia. So without further ado, let's begin. Okay, so let's begin with the holders, Germany. They are set to defend their crown this year and are heavily favourites to retain and win the tournament again. And it's easy to see why too. They have immense quality all over the pitch, and not only that, but they have quality in depth as well. And there has already been a piece of evidence to support this. Last week, the news broke that Leroy Sané of Manchester City was left out of the 23-man squad. Sané had a superb season with City, scoring 10 goals and assisting 15 times, and put together many quality performances that saw him earn the PFA Young Player of the Year award. So for Germany to be able to have that selection headache of leaving him out for his immense quality and ability is simply incredible. Manuel Neuer captains the team, and he will be heavily relied upon towards the latter stage of the tournament to keep Germany in contention of retaining their world champion status, especially beyond the group stages. But further up the pitch, the likes of Mats Hummels, Toni Kroos, playmaker Mesut Ozil and striker Timo Werner are all going to be key players in Germany's pursuit of another world title. Also, it will be finally great to see Marco Reus on the biggest stage for his country, having missed major tournaments in the past due to injury. Another top contender this year is France. They came close to becoming European champions 2 years ago, coming up short against Cristiano Ronaldo's Portugal in the final. But this year it's entirely possible that they could become world champions for a second time after winning this competition back in 1998. Zinedine Zidane the star on that night. France have exceptional talent across the pitch, with their attacking talent in particular full of sheer quality, and they also have great depth to their squad of many names that are playing across many of Europe's top leagues. But there's one piece to that could be their Achilles heel, and it's possibly the age and experience side of the game. It may be the one factor that is standing in their way of winning the competition, but could see them clear favourites to win the next World Cup in 4 years' time. It could be a disadvantage for them, or it could be an advantage. The team is full of youth, full of energy and full of determination. Could certainly be a team to look out for this year, and at the very least they should reach the semi-finals. Antoine Griezmann will be relied upon in the attack. He's a big game player, but will the constant speculation surrounding his future, his club future that is, play on his mind. Whilst behind him you've got the wonder kid in Kylian Mbappe, the lightning quick Ousmane Dembele, the engine that is N'Golo Kante, the solid Raphael Varane in defence, and of course sweeper keeper Hugo Lloris of Tottenham are all going to be vital to France's World Cup campaign. The World Cup's most successful nation, Brazil, are again in contention and in pursuit of a 6th World Cup trophy. The last time we saw Brazil on this stage, they got absolutely humiliated in their own country by Germany, who smashed them 7-1 in the semi-finals. And then a few days later, in the third place playoff, they lost 3-0 to Holland. They were pretty dark times for Brazil, but now they're back and are looking to redeem themselves from that humiliation 4 years ago. They have great strength in attack. Neymar is obviously the main man, the key player, as this year he looks to take centre stage on the biggest stage. And alongside him, going forward, he has Barcelona's Coutinho, Chelsea's Willian, Douglas Costa, Liverpool's Roberto Firmino, and Manchester City's Gabriel Jesus, although it seems that Firmino and Jesus will be fighting it out to see who will be leading the line for the 5-time world champions. Defensively, there are some question marks still. Whilst Marcelo is a joy to watch going forward, he and the rest of the back four look a little suspect when put under pressure, which could again be evident and visible in the latter stages of this tournament when they face some of the quote-unquote bigger teams. In goal, Alisson or Edison, take your pick. Two top goalkeepers at the top of their game, possibly could be playing against each other in the Premier League sometime next season, if certain reports are to be believed, that is, but it's a toss-up between the two. Brazil on paper should be runners-up, but could their defensive issues be exploited enough to stop them from going that far? Only time will tell. Belgium, the notorious dark horses of major tournaments in recent years. This is Belgium's golden generation, a team that on paper should be challenging for the top accolades in international football with the quality they possess. But when it came down to it, they simply haven't lived up to expectation on the pitch. In previous years it may have been acceptable due to age and experience among other factors, but this year there's no more excuses. This team that consists of the majority of players playing across Europe's top tier leagues and divisions should be competing. Manchester City's Kevin De Bruyne, coming off the back of a phenomenal season with his side, is the key man for Roberto Martinez's side, along with Chelsea's Eden Hazard. Them two need to step up their game on this big stage. Romelu Lukaku leading the line up front is another player that needs to step up, whilst behind him the Tottenham trio of Moussa Dembele, Jan Vertonghen and Toby Alderweireld will need to be as solid for their country as they are for their club. Whilst in goal, Chelsea's Thibaut Courtois is going to need to up his game if Belgium are to attempt to compete with the world's elite. They should sail through the group stages, and no matter who wins or becomes runners-up in Group H, they should get through the first knockout stage. But when they hit the quarterfinals, a possible tie with Brazil or Germany awaits, and that will be the real test for this team. Cristiano Ronaldo's Portugal, the unlikely winners of the 2016 European Championships in France a couple of years ago, are possibly the dark horses for this year's tournament. They aren't a team that many are expecting to win the tournament, but just like they did a couple of years ago, they could slip under the radar and quietly go about their business, even though they do have that number 7 superstar within their ranks. The team features many different players from the Euro 2016 triumph, but the main men remain. Ronaldo, obviously, along with João Moutinho, and of course Manchester City's Bernardo Silva. Ronaldo showed his leadership in 2016, especially in the final, where despite coming off injured from the sidelines, he was still encouraging the team to overcome France, and that quality will be definitely needed in this competition here again, as he's a player that if he's on form, he can elevate the players around him. The Achilles heel for this team could be their aging defence. Pepe, Bruno Alves and Jose Fonte are all in their mid-30s. Whilst they all possess experience and leadership, many teams this year possess a lot of speed, stamina and endurance. Could they truly handle an attack that possesses all them qualities for a full 90 minutes? They may carry the dark horse tag in this competition in my eyes, and could get very lucky in their run into the final, if certain events go their way of course. But at the most, a semi-final spot could be where they finish, if Ronaldo's on form that is, whereas the bare minimum should be a quarter-finals finish. Argentina, a very unpredictable side, which is frustrating for a team that possesses so much talent. Every tournament has one underachieving team, a team that doesn't meet expectation and doesn't even come close to doing so. And this year, it could be Lionel Messi's Argentina. It's unlikely of course, but if the tournament preparation is anything to go by, it could be. Going forward, Argentina looks sublime. Messi is obviously the star man, he is simply phenomenal, and alongside him he has quality in the likes of Angel Di Maria, Paulo Dybala, Gonzalo Higuain and of course Sergio Aguero. But they haven't really hit the heights of expectation in this kind of major tournament in the past, despite on paper this being an attack of serious danger and immense quality and talent. However, on the other side of the pitch, their defence is known for being a little unreliable. Despite having some recognised names that play at clubs that are up there with the best, their defence isn't one that is watertight and can easily be exploited. Remember, this is a team that barely scraped through qualifying for this competition. But you have to feel sorry for Messi. Whilst the quarterfinal finish is possibly on the cards and the likely finish for this squad, arguably the best player in the modern era may be playing in his last World Cup, and he may not win that prestigious World Cup trophy that is so badly missing from his massive trophy cabinet. In 2010, Spain set the tournament alight with their tiki-taka football and were rightfully the victors of that tournament in South Africa. In 2014, a poor display saw Spain not even make it past the group stages. But since then there's been change, there's been an injection of youth that is almost like a breath of fresh air into this side. The likes of Lucas Vazquez, Koke, Marco Asensio and Isco have all stepped up for their clubs in recent years, and now it's time to do it for their country. Key players are obviously David De Gea in goal, who seems to continue to get better and better with every game, the ruthless Sergio Ramos in defence, Anchorman Sergio Busquets in midfield, and along with Diego Costa up front, they are all going to be vital to any kind of success in Spain's World Cup campaign, and they of course are alongside veterans that are still like iconic and incredible talents in the form of Andres Iniesta and David Silva. Of course, this is Spain, so expect a lot of underhand tactics, whether it's cynical fouls, overacting on minor fouls, and a lot of time wasting when they are in a winning position. As far as expectation goes, they should get out of the group stages this year, but depending on whether they top their group or finish runners-up, it depends on whether they will finish the tournament in the quarter-final stages or the semi-final stages. And the final team I'll be analysing is England. The one-time winners back in 1966 will be led into the tournament by manager Gareth Southgate and captain Harry Kane. Supporters aren't expecting anything of England this year, then again back in 2014 they weren't expecting anything then, and even though they didn't even make it out the group stages, fans were still left upset and angered by their performance. But if their key players are on form, decent performances on the pitch could help England to at least a quarter-finals finish. Harry Kane obviously the main man up front, whilst Jordan Pickford appears to be the #1 choice in goal. 5 across the back seems to be the preferred formation, so it will be interesting to see what combination of centre-backs Southgate chooses, and even further up the pitch the midfield isn't exactly clear who starts, with plenty of competition. Personally, I'd like to see Marcus Rashford play more of a role in the starting 11. He's the one player since he burst onto the scene that's given me some sort of excitement or hope within an England team, but I would also like to see Raheem Sterling have a good tournament. Personal opinions aside, due to the fact that I'm a Liverpool fan and he's a former Liverpool player and the toxic way that he left the club, I'd like to see him have a good tournament, not just because he's English, but I'd like to see him fight back against the media who have constantly harassed him with some of the most stupid and ridiculous headlines to be reported on of a professional sportsman. Elsewhere, I'm looking forward to seeing the other teams and other star players in action. Uruguay's Luis Suarez is just one of them, but along with him, I'm also looking forward to seeing Christian Eriksen for Denmark and Sadio Mane for Senegal. Also, I'm happy Mohamed Salah's declared himself fit for Egypt. He's had an exceptional season that ended a little sour with what happened in the Champions League final. But he's one of the main reasons Egypt are there in the first place, and it will be great to see him and their fans at such a massive tournament. I also love when an underdog overachieves in this tournament, but if that is to happen this year, I'm not sure which nation that would be, as I can make a case for several of them. But either way, that should be a great tournament for many reasons, and hopefully we'll be talking about what happens on the pitch for all the right reasons, then what happens off of it. Okay guys, that's your mini World Cup preview over and done with. Who are you supporting in the World Cup? Who do you think will overachieve? Who do you think will underachieve? Who do you see winning the tournament this year? I'd love to read your comments down below. Otherwise guys, hit that like button on the way out if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe if you're new and would like to see more content like this. Thank you for watching, enjoy the World Cup, and I will see you in the next video.